The night my daughter ran away with her boyfriend, I felt like my heart had been ripped out of my chest. I stood in the doorway of her empty room, staring at the bed that was still warm, the window slightly open, and the note lying on the table. "Mom, please don't look for me. I'm leaving with him. I love him." That was all she wrote. In that moment, something inside me broke. I had raised her alone for 20 years after her father died. I sacrificed everything, my dreams, my happiness, even my youth, so she could have a good life. And she left, just like that. But what happened the day she came back to my door, changed my life forever. I am a 40-year-old woman, and my daughter Emma is 20. Or at least, she was 20 when she ran away. For years, she had been my entire world. After my husband died in a car accident when Emma was just 3, I became both mother and father to her. I worked 2 jobs, cleaning offices in the morning and working as a cashier at night, just so she could go to a good school. I missed birthdays, school events, and sometimes even dinner with her, but I always believed it was worth it. Everything I did was for her future. Emma grew up to be beautiful, smart, and kind. Or at least, that's what I thought. Everything changed when she turned 19. That's when she met Daniel. At first, I didn't think much about it. Young people fall in love all the time. But soon I started noticing changes in her. She stopped coming home early. She ignored my calls. She started arguing with me over the smallest things. One night I finally asked her directly, "Emma, who is this Daniel?" She rolled her eyes. "He's my boyfriend, Mom." "Why do you always act like I'm a child?" "I'm not saying you're a child," I replied calmly. "I just want to know who he is." She sighed loudly. "You wouldn't understand. You never understand anything." That was the first time her words cut me like a knife. But things got worse. A few weeks later I discovered that Daniel was 10 years older than her, unemployed, and known in our town for getting into trouble. When I confronted Emma about it, she exploded. "You're lying," she shouted. "You just don't want me to be happy." "I'm trying to protect you," I said. "I don't need your protection." From that day on, our house felt like a battlefield. Every conversation turned into a fight. Every meal ended in silence. Then one night, she didn't come home. At first I thought she was staying with a friend. But when morning came and her phone was turned off, I felt something terrible in my chest. I ran to her room. The window was open. Her suitcase was gone. And the note was on the table. "Mom, please don't look for me. I'm leaving with him. I love him." I remember collapsing onto the floor and crying until my throat hurt. For weeks, I tried calling her. No answer. I contacted her friends. No one knew anything. I even went to the police, but since she was an adult, there was nothing they could do. Slowly, I stopped searching. Not because I didn't care, but because the pain was destroying me. Months passed. My life became quiet, empty. The house that once echoed with her laughter now felt like a cold, abandoned building. Sometimes I would walk past her room and just stand there, staring at the closed door. I wondered if she was safe. If she was eating. If she ever thought about me. But she never called. Not once. Until one rainy evening, 6 months later. I heard a knock on my door. At first I thought it was a neighbor. But when I opened it, my heart stopped. Emma was standing there. Her hair was messy. Her clothes were dirty. Her eyes were red from crying. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then she whispered softly, "Mom, can I come in?" The anger I had buried for months suddenly exploded inside me. All the nights I cried. All the pain. All the humiliation. It rushed back like a storm. "No," I said coldly. Her face turned pale. "Mom, please." "You made your choice," I replied. "You left this house Tears rolled down her cheeks. I made a mistake. We all make mistakes, I said. But some mistakes have consequences. She looked at me like a lost child. Daniel, he changed. He became violent. I had nowhere else to go. My heart trembled when I heard that. But the wounds inside me were still too fresh. You should have thought about that before leaving, I said. She fell to her knees on the porch. Mom, please. I'm your daughter. For a moment, I almost broke. But then I remembered the note. The empty room. The months of silence. I stepped back and closed the door. You have no place in this house anymore, I said before locking it. Her crying continued outside for several minutes. Then, silence. I stood behind the door, shaking. Part of me wanted to run outside and hug her. But another part, the broken part, refused. That night I didn't sleep. I kept hearing her voice in my head. Mom, please. Days passed. Then weeks. Life slowly returned to normal. Or at least, that's what I tried to tell myself. Until one morning, when I opened my mailbox. Inside was a small envelope. There was no return address. My hands trembled as I opened it. Inside was a letter written in Emma's handwriting. Mom. I know you hate me now, and maybe I deserve it. But I want you to know that I never stopped loving you. Daniel hurt me many times, but I stayed because I was afraid to admit you were right. When I came back to your door, it was the hardest moment of my life. When you closed it, I understood something. Sometimes we only realize the value of love when we lose it. I'm leaving this city now to start over. I hope one day you can forgive me. And I hope one day I can forgive myself. I love you, Mom. Emma. By the time I finished reading the letter, tears were streaming down my face. I realized something terrible. When she needed me the most, I had abandoned her too. I ran outside, hoping to see her somewhere on the street. But she was gone. Just like the night she left. And in that moment, I finally understood the cruel truth. Sometimes pride can destroy a family faster than any mistake. And sometimes, by the time we realize it, it's already too late.